Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Talk episode number 90. Now, what we're going to be taking a look at is the government secretly orders Google to track anyone searching certain names, addresses, and phone numbers. That's right, Big Brother is spying on you because what else would Joe Biden do than spy on somebody? I mean, Barack Obama did it. They did it on Trump's campaign for Hillary in 2016. I mean, yeah, sky's the limit, right? They're going to start tracking people who have more than $600 in their bank account. More than $600 in their bank account. And they're going to track your transactions. That's psycho. That's psycho. That is not a free country. It's not free. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please, down below, like and subscribe to the channel. There's a subscribe button. Subscribe to Legion Games 2076. That's my main channel. Subscribe to this channel, Legion Talk. And if you want to support what I do in a more direct way, you can support me on Subscribestar, and Patreon is down in the description below. And I'd appreciate if you do. If you don't, that's cool too. It's not a big deal. You know what? I love interacting with all of you, and it's great. So thank you for that. Here we go. From the Washington Examiner, Big Brother is watching. That's right. The U.S. government is reportedly secretly issuing warrants for Google to provide user data to anyone typing in certain search terms, raising fears that innocent online users could be caught up in a serious crime investigation after a greater frequency than previously thought. In an attempt to track down criminals, federal investigators have started using new keyword warrants and use them to ask Google to provide them information to anyone who searched a victim's name or their address during a particular year and accidentally unsealed court documents that Forbes found shows. Google has What's going on? There it is. No? My cursor doesn't work there. That's really weird. Google has responded to thousands of warrant orders each year, but the keyword warrants are a relatively new strategy used by the government and are controversial. Trawling through Google's search history database enables police to identify people merely based on what they might have been thinking about for whatever reason. At some point in the past, Jennifer Granick, surveillance and cybersecurity counsel at the American Civil Liberties Union, told Forbes, "This is bad. This is bad stuff. Okay, the government doesn't need to know everything that you do." I know that Democrats love big government, and they're like going, more government, more government, more government. And to the point that it's actually comical that they're pushing for like legitimate socialist policies. Joe Biden is an absolute hack. I think he's just a mouthpiece for Kamala Harris and the radical Democrats and the left wing, because I mean these are the people that think that sending drag queens to talk to children is good without the parents' consent. That's weird. That's weird. That's not your place. That's not your like leave the kids alone. Like Gavin Newsom, far left, pushing COVID vaccines on children to go back to school. Pull your kids out of public school. It's garbage. The far left thinks that they can do a better job. It's teaching your children from the federal level and mandating it on a nationwide level with 333 million people. Guess who should be managing school in the states? The state itself. You know why? Because the state is a massive population of different communities, and different communities need different teaching approaches. It's not one blanketed statement. For a party that says that they're all about the people and diversity, they don't treat diversity with any respect, because they want broader government instead of letting, let's say, Ron DeSantis and the mayors of each city, work with themselves, Gavin Newsom, I hate the guy, and the mayors of the cities work for themselves and figure out what works for California. You have to let California be California. You have to let Florida be Florida, New York be New York, Arizona be Arizona, Colorado, which I'm a native from, grew up there, be Colorado, and Texas be Texas. That's the way it is. You can't enact stuff on Alaska and expect it to apply to California. That doesn't make sense. That's lunacy. This never before possible technique threatens First Amendment interests. Yep, absolutely it does. First Amendment is freedom of speech. Now, however, you don't have the freedom to threaten anybody or take the rights away of anybody else. That's where the line is drawn. So everybody has the right to free speech. If walking down the road, some guy's like, "Hey man, you guy," and I'm like, "Hey, that's freedom of speech." But if we decide to go beat on each other, that's not freedom of speech. That's assault, and most likely, one or both of us will be charged. There's a difference. Saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And you make threats, and it's like, that's not freedom of speech, dude. You're taking away somebody else's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Interest in it will inevitably sweep up innocent people, especially if the keyword terms are not unique and the time frame not precise. To make matters worse, police have enough problems without this crap. I'm going to tell you that right now. They have enough problems to deal with in the United States. Seriously. Like we don't need Gestapo level of policing, because they're having a hard the wait times for low level calls is like 30 plus minutes to an hour and a half. Even emergency situations are creeping up to anywhere in the neighborhood of, like, I think the last frame I saw was like 9 to 13 minutes. That sucks. That's why I believe in the Second Amendment. You know what? Call the police. Cool. Have a family member call the police. Well, you lock and load and get ready to do your thing and defend your family and your friends or whatever. And if you fail, hopefully you take the bad guy down a couple notches and the police show up and they get him too. That, which insulates the practice from public debate and regulation, she added. The government said that the scope of the warrants is limited to avoid implicating innocent people who happen to search for certain terms. That doesn't make any sense, but it's not publicly disclosed how many users' data are sent to the government and what the extent of the warrant requests are. This is crap. Google has defended its decision to respond to the warrants and said it protects users when doing so. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to agree with that. As with all law enforcement requests, we have a rigorous process that is designed to protect the privacy of our users while supporting the important work of law enforcement, a Google spokesperson said. Look, Google's garbage. It's kind of ironic because I'm on their platform, and my main channel is monetized, so I'm making money off of Google AdSense. But long story short, the government is vastly overreaching with poke mandates and face covering mandates and and now stuff like this. Every American has the right to live their life the way they see fit, within a lawful reason. You do not have the right to come in and demand anything you want as the federal government. You don't. That's it. The Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution are very clear about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and they discuss the fact that the government should have minimal role in the people's lives. Now, we have a lot bigger government than we should, trust me. But it's getting drastically worse under Joe Build Back. Well, we're gonna build back better, Biden. And quite frankly, I don't want to make fun of the man, because quite frankly, I think he needs to be he needs to be under 24/7 watch by medical professionals and surrounded by family. Spending the rest of his years in, you know, being taken care of for dementia, and not president of the United States, where, quite frankly, it's kind of like watching Weekend at Bernie's. That's sad, and that's not cool. It's not cool. You voted for Joe Biden, fine. If you voted for Joe Biden because, you're like anything but Trump, you're wrong. You were wrong for that. You should have looked at the policies, and now a lot of people have the regrets. Long story short, I'm not going to drag this out. I'm not going to sit here and lecture people. It's not my place. If your vote is your right, I hope you enjoyed that vote. But quite frankly, now this is what we're getting. This is authoritarian tyranny, and quite frankly, it's garbage. And the United States is a constitutional republic, which means that the U.S. government is there to maintain minimal control to protect the people of the states, and to work with the governors of each state to coordinate what is best for that territory. The governor of each state is there to check and balance the federal government and make sure they're not overreaching. That's what it is. That's the way it is. Now, the states are an actual democracy by vote. The U.S. government is a constitutional republic by vote. That's why there's an electoral college. Keep it that way. Federal government, stay out of my house. State government, we can talk about it. You know why? Because I can meet face to face with my state and local representatives. To meet with the president of the United States is going to be literally a tall order to me trying to get a date with Nicki Minaj. That's it. That's it. I got nothing else for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you again real soon. See you guys.